Hello Glamour Ghouls and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Midge Munster and on this channel we do all things campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. This is a video I have been talking about in other videos for several weeks and I have not done it yet because I am what the kids call lazy. But I am excited to make it and I want to make it and I need to make it because the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race is this weekend. So before this topic falls into oblivion in the mass of the internet, I wanted to do my Willow Pill inspired video. Now I will say you don't need to be a fan of Drag Race to appreciate what we're doing here today. This isn't going to include any like Drag Race spoilers because when I'm filming this, the finale hasn't aired yet. Actually, it'll have just aired on the Friday before you're seeing this video. So I have my fingers crossed for Miss Willow. I love her. But also this is not a spoiler in the sense that this look is based on a look that Willow did 6 weeks ago, a long time ago. And in true me fashion, I took a really relevant, cool topic and waited 2 months to post about it. But the look I am referring to is this look here, and this is one of my favorite looks I have ever seen on Drag Race. Because as you can tell, the silhouette of the dress is incredibly vintage inspired, very like 50s Dior cut. I love this. But it's also extremely campy with the house on the head. It's just such a clever, unique take. I've never seen anything like this. And I posted about how much I loved it on Instagram, and I have to give credit where it's due because my good buddy Miranda from Spooky Little Halloween messaged me and she's like, oh my God, like you should remake this, but with a haunted house. The way that I was like, why did I not think of that? And then of course, as soon as Miranda said it, it was the only thing I could think about. Like now I haven't stopped thinking about it for, like I said, like a month and a half. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're going to try to recreate this look with a haunted house to go on my head. You know, just a casual, normal fashion video. This channel's so dumb, I love it. So I got all the materials that I think I'm gonna need to construct the house, again, a while ago. And we're super lucky that Willow actually shared on her Instagram pictures, like process pictures of her and her friends making this house to go on her head. So I kind of examined them and I can see sort of the way that it's constructed. And so I think I can knock on wood, recreate this pretty easily. So since this is gonna take us a while, I think we should jump right in. But I do want to take a quick second and remind you all that we are now officially in the halfway to Halloween mark. Halloween decor hunting will start probably in June, so we are headed into prime content season for this channel. So if you are not already and you like what we do here, be sure to subscribe before you leave today. I also want to say thank you to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. We will talk a little bit more about them later, but for now, let me grab our materials and let's chat about the general setup of this project. So we are here at my dining room table. This is where I think we're gonna work today just because it's the most flat space that I have. I have been saving these boxes. So this one I think is what we're gonna use for the like base of the house. I think. We might have to get a bigger box. It goes on this way, but it doesn't go on this way. I mean, it does, but not without like completely smashing my face. I mean, the other thing is my face is gonna be coming out the little like door hole. So since it's really just my nose that's getting squished, maybe it doesn't matter. And then I kept this from a record that I bought online because it's a great little like, I mean, boom, right? Roof, done. This is gonna be perfect, I think, to attach. And then obviously we'll need to cover the front and sides of it, but that is, we can do that. And I kept this long kind of flat box because it's got long, like lots of long stretches of board, and I think we can use that to make like paneling or the texture on the front of the house. I almost completely forgot one of the most important parts. I also got this big ol' honkin' box of, they're not called toothpicks, craft sticks. My brain wants to call them tongue depressors, like they use at the doctor. I mean, that's what they are, but yeah, they're craft sticks. But the way that they did the roof shingles on Willow's house was by layering these, and I thought that was really smart and really like pretty, again, pretty simple, hopefully. So I think we're gonna start by just like assembling the general shape of the house. We need to cut some shapes out of here to make like the door and the windows. We need to attach our little roof and get that all figured out. Let's start there, and then we will look at starting to like make it look like a house after we get the general shape down. So I just started by freehanding these shapes onto the box and cutting out where I wanted the door and the windows to be. I had to give it a couple of test tries to make sure that my face was going to fit in the hole, and I did have to expand it a couple of times just to make sure the fit was perfect. Then I started working with the roof, and I realized pretty shortly that Willow's roof actually goes this way instead of the other way, and because of that I had to cut an extra piece, a little triangle for the window to go kind of into the roof there. So this is me figuring out that piece and figuring out how to kind of lay that in. Again, I'm just freehanding it and cutting it out. And while I'm getting a great workout from these scissors, let's take a brief pause and get a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Care Of. If you have not heard of Care Of, they are a wellness brand that customizes vitamins and supplements to support your unique goals. I am so excited to be working with them. I have been interested in Care Of for a long time, and so far I am loving the product. All you have to do is go online to takecareof.com. You take a quick quiz that asks you about your goals, whether that be fitness, digestion, better sleep, and then after you take the quiz, they give you a unique blend of supplements and vitamins just for your goals. So these are mine. I was looking for sort of a combination of things, from digestive support to energy and mood and just supporting my immune system. So my blend has keratin for my hair, B complex. I was especially excited to have a probiotic blend in there because, as you all know, I struggle with digestive issues and I've been wanting to try a probiotic for a long time. But something I've been personally really excited about with Care Of is that these vitamins and supplements do not upset my stomach, which in the past when I've tried to go out and purchase supplements, I get sick almost instantly from taking them. And I know Care Of works to put in clean ingredients that are backed by the latest science, so you can really feel good about what you're putting in your body. After you get your unique blend, they send this cute little container to your door with a 30-day supply. First of all, I love this packaging. It's so cute. It actually kind of matches my studio. But it's so nice looking. You can absolutely leave it out on your counter or your bathroom counter. If you're a person like me who has a neurodivergency and forgets to take things, it's really nice to have this nice, attractive container to leave out so that you remember to take your vitamins every day. And I love that they're already pre-portioned in these little pouches with my name on them. And these little packets are compostable, which I really appreciate that Care Of took that extra step to be more environmentally conscious. So if you would like to try Care Of and get your own personal vitamin blend to support your wellness goals, you can go to takecareof.com or go to the link in my description box and use the code Midge Munster 50 for 50% off your first order. That's 50% off your first Care Of order with my code Midge Munster 50 at takecareof.com. Thank you so much to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to our haunted house. Okay, so honestly, considering I've only been out this for like an hour and a half, I think this is looking awesome. I'm really, really happy with how it's coming out and how the little window came out. It's a little off center. Don't look at it. It's fine. It's a haunted house. It doesn't have to be perfect. I also sent a picture to Miranda of me wearing this on my head, and she pointed out that I am wearing my We Buy Haunted Houses shirt, and I didn't even think about that. It wasn't on purpose. This shirt, because I know somebody will ask, this is from Hungry Ghost Press, and I will link it in the description box. Yeah, this is turning out awesome. I can't believe, I really thought that this aspect was gonna be the hardest part, figuring out like the logistics of how to get it together. I did end up cutting a large separate piece that I'm going to use as the yard, and that'll be where we, you know, put some grass and tombstones and things, but for right now, that's gonna be probably the last thing I do, because I want to be able to get really easily like in and out of the house while we're doing all the elements to it. So I think now our next step is to do the like paneling and the roofing. So I saved all the like scraps from the flaps of the box because they, in theory, should be the same width as the different sides. So I figured these would be a really easy place to start with making siding for this. I need to like close up the little sides of the roof probably so they don't look like that. We'll put some cardboard over that, and then after I get everything paneled, we will start putting all the popsicles on the roof. Popsicles, that's what they're called. Popsicle sticks. We got it. All right, so we're gonna go back into time-lapse mode, and I'm gonna probably listen to a podcast and work on this. I'm assuming this will probably take the rest of the evening for me to panel all this and get all the popsicle sticks glued on here. But if it does take me all night, then I will see you in the morning and we will start the next step. Okay, I know I said I would be checking back in after I finished, but I cannot believe how good this is looking, y'all. Look at it. I just finished the front, so I ended up doing all of this bit in one piece and then using what I cut out of here to cut that out, traced the roof template to cut it into the right shape, and then inlaid it. And then I just cut these two smaller pieces to kind of create like a gable around that, which I think added a lot of dimension and looks really nice. But yeah, the whole front's done. It only took me a little under an hour to do the front, and this is the hard part because of all the cutouts. So I'm hoping I can do the sides and the back in probably 40 minutes or so, and then be ready to start popsicle sticking. So this is so exciting. This looks so much better than I ever imagined that it would. I honestly, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. I'm so excited. So I just had to give you a quick update. It's looking so great. Okay, I'm gonna start on the sides and the back, and I guess I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, it's very windy out here, so hopefully you can hear me. So I have finished siding the whole house, and I brought it outside, so here's what it's looking like. There's the back, the other side. So now I've decided before I put the popsicle sticks on that I'm gonna go ahead and do a coat of black spray paint over the whole thing, because I want the house to be black and then the roof to be gray. 78 degrees right now, which it never is this time of year in Missouri, so I'm gonna take advantage of it and spray this whole thing real quick, get a coat on it, and then I'll start working on the roof. Okay, so here we are. This is what it's looking like now that we've got the first coat of paint on there. Obviously this black is like very one tone, very like glossy. We're not gonna leave it that way. We're gonna distress it and everything later with acrylic paint, but this gives us a really good base coat to work from so that I'm not like trying to paint, you know, between things later. I did cut a little tape circle to cover the boards that I did inside the window earlier, so those are still board colored, which is great. But this sat outside for about 45 minutes and it is dry to the touch now, at least, you know, enough that we can work with it again. So I am going to start pulling out my craft sticks, my popsicle sticks, and get in here and start making this roof texture. And then once that's done, I'll probably call it a night and then come back in the morning to work on distressing it, painting it, and setting up the yard portion of the haunted house as well. So let's head back for a little time lapse of working on this roof. Good morning. So it is day 2 of our haunted house project, and honestly, I'm thrilled with what I got accomplished last night. So here's where we're at. So we've got the whole thing painted black. We've got the roof fully on there intact, and I think it's looking pretty awesome, honestly. I'm honestly completely shocked at A, how well it's coming together, and B, how much I was able to get done yesterday. But before I can continue working on it, we need to go to the craft store and get a couple of things. I need to get a few different colors of acrylic paint to paint the roof and to do some distressing on the house and the roof. And we need to get some moss or grassy type consistency stuff for the yard of the house so that we can add that layer today. So I'm really excited for this part. This is what's gonna like bring it all together, make it look really good. All right, let's head to Michael's. We're back from Michael's. Quick craft store haul. So I got a whole set of acrylic paints and brushes for distressing. I also got big tubes of black and white since we're doing the roof gray. I have a feeling I'm gonna need a lot of that. Then I got this, which is like a literal sheet of moss. I think this is gonna be perfect to lay across the floor and have under the house and make it look like it's on like a lawn. And then I also got these. I'm undecided on this because proportionally they're not the best for the size of this house, but I did get a couple packs of little like fake trees because I do think it would be really cool to have trees. I don't know. I think that would look really nice, but I don't know that it's necessary. I don't know. We'll see how they look, but I did get them. And then I also got, I couldn't resist, I had this pack of miniature little broomsticks, and I thought it'd be really cute to have one like leaning against the door, obviously. So now I think I'm just gonna blend some paint and start working on the roof. We're gonna paint this all, I think like dark gray first, and then I'll go in and take some browns, greens, maybe some like really deep kind of muddy yellows and stuff, and just kind of dirty the house up, make it look really like it's been sitting for a long time. So I'm probably gonna work on that for a couple of hours. I'm assuming it's gonna take some time to get this to look the way I want. And then once it does, we'll come back and talk about the yard. So I started by mixing up this kind of light charcoal color, and I slathered this all over the roof, both front and back, and spent time getting all in the cracks of all the popsicle sticks. This was a little complicated just to get it in all the nooks and crannies, but I'm really glad I went with this gray. I think it is a really nice contrast against the black house. And after I got everything painted on the roof, I ended up taking some of the kind of leftover on the brush and just dry brushed the entirety of the black on the house to give it a bit more of a weathered look. This put some, dimension in the corrugation of the cardboard without totally like turning the color of the house. Then I took some smaller brushes and I mixed up a kind of mossy green color and a very dingy, like muddy brown color, and just started doing some detail work in between all of these tiles, trying to make it look like there was, growth on them. Here I'm going across all the tops of the shingles to make the roof look kind of water stained and weather worn, and I spent a pretty good deal of time doing this, going under each shingle and trying to create shadows, just make it look like it's been sitting there for a really long time in disrepair. Then I took this foam board and cut out trim for all the windows. I cut out the one for the circular window up top, as well as the 2 square windows on the ground floor. And then I mixed up kind of a woodish brown color and painted the foam to look like wood. I really was happy with the way these turned out. And then I just hot glued them to the front of the house. I also used some of that brown color to go over the boards in the window to make them look more like a wood texture as well. And I think that this really brought the whole house to life. It really started looking like a real haunted house. I'm obsessed with the way it's looking. Okay, so I am so thrilled with how this looks. We've got the little like trim on all the windows, even though they're kind of hidden now. Got the doors on and they're like open so that you can still see me. This is where my theater degree really comes into play, painting things to look like wood. Or basically painting materials to look like other materials is what I spent most of my college years doing. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I have this piece that I'm using for the base. So this is gonna be what kind of makes this all work, right? This is how it's gonna rest on my shoulders. So like I mentioned earlier, I got this just sheet of moss at Michael's, and it's almost the perfect size. So I think I can just kind of lay it to the edge. I'm sure this is gonna make just an absolute mess when I cut it. I wonder if I should go ahead and glue it down first. That seems like the right call. That way it's not moving around when I try to cut it. There we go. Then we can just snip this around the edges. There's our little lawn, and then honestly, this stuff's pretty thin. I think if I put it in this, I can just take this X-Acto knife and just cut right through it. Try to make sure the edges are really clear so that where my head is, I'm not getting like moss all over me. Okay, awesome. Or should I say, mossum. I've been alone all day. Okay, so this is going so much better. Like everything just keeps going so much better than how I thought it would go. I'm gonna glue this down a little bit better on the front end here. I'm having flashbacks to when I made that moss covered background for my hutch at Halloween. If I had known these moss sheets existed, we could have saved ourselves so much turmoil. I burned my fingers so badly making that video. I had like 3rd-degree burns from my high-powered glue gun. Okay, well, we are definitely gonna have to vacuum after this. Did you even craft if you didn't make an absolute mess of your house in the meantime? So I'm gonna work on this for a minute. Hopefully all goes smoothly. I'll probably show you a time lapse of me putting the finishing touches on this, but we are really, really close to being done. I'm gonna make a couple tombstones for the front yard, try out those little trees and see if those work. But I think we're almost done. I'm really excited. let's do a quick wrap up. Overall, I am absolutely thrilled with how this turned out. I think that I captured the look that I was going for, but in a spooky style. I honestly don't really think there's anything I would change about this. It turned out better than I expected, so I can't even imagine what the next level would be, except maybe if I could have added some like wire coming out to have like ghosts flying around the house or something. But overall, I'm just so thrilled with how this turned out. I really want to find other opportunities to wear this. I am going to be going to Midsummer Scream this year, so I'm trying to think like logistically how I could get this there so I could use it as a cosplay. I will definitely be posting some really good photos in this over on Instagram, so if you want to check those out and you don't follow me already, you can find me over there at Midge Munster. Remember that we will be moving into Halloween decor hunting season here on the channel very soon, so if you like what I do here and you feel like sticking around, be sure to subscribe to the channel before you leave today. We'd love to have you be a part of the Glamour Ghoul gang. Thank you again so much to Care of for sponsoring today's video. Remember, if you'd like to give them a try, you can follow the link in my description box and use my code MidgeMunster50 for 50% off your first order. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, keep it campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. Bye.
When ghosts come out to social.